with the boss in the box. Talking shop with the boss in the box. Talking shop with the boss in the box.
What the hell? Seriously? Oh.
Here.
Oh.
Calm down.
Hey, what's up? We got Lorenzo Lorenzo Lamas in the house tonight.
Hold on. I'm not. Let's get things straight. I'm no Knight Rider, but at the same time, no relation to Lucy either.
Okay. So Mr. Lawless. That the way you spell your last name is very interesting in comparison to lawless. It's like lowless, like LOLless.
Well, because people butcher it all the time, I pronounce it like Lallis, like Dallas. Unfortunately, it's an old Byzantine name, so Vasoy, happiness is being Greek.
And you are a big Greek man, aren't you?
I am 6'2", 320 pounds. I used to wrestle at Fresno State in Greco-Roman. I did MMA training from 2008 to 2012, so I trained people on Greco-Roman fundamentals, along with being able to get out of a lot of the death holds of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Wait, is that why you have MMA in your screen name?
That's correct. I was at Combat Fitness in Dublin for 3 years as well during college.
Well, just the fact that you're like 12 inches taller than me, I wouldn't want to fuck with you either.
Most people don't. I may not finish. I may not start what people want, but I do definitely finish it.
Well, I will say, ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday, and you know what that means. It is Talking Shop with the boss and Lorenzo Lawless. What's up, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Brandon?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mai Tai Lawless. He's Matthias. Is it Matthias or Matthias?
It's Matthias. Just like The Rock and the Scorpion King.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Nowadays The Rock is just The Rock in everything he does. But once upon a time, he actually played a role that had a different name.
Yes, he did, and sponsored by WWE.
Yeah. But tonight's podcast is sponsored by the Roosevelts. You see these wonderful T-shirts both me and Mai Tai are wearing here. Oh, I forgot something. I realized that the little corner on the other side is blank. Do you guys know why? Anybody? No? Okay, I know why. Because he was too busy for this podcast. If you notice, Lunchbox is always late. He is never on time. This is like the second or third podcast that we have started without him because he doesn't know how to prioritize things right. He's drinking his beer. He's doing other things. He says he's at work. Who knows what he's doing?
And this guy's a delivery driver for Coca-Cola? No wonder all my shit's expired.
I mean, he might as well just be a FedEx driver at this point.
Nah, don't give him that much credit. Go with U.S. Postal Service.
But you know what? We're gonna start the show, and we're gonna try to get him here. I don't know what he's doing. Let's see. Let's give him a call. Let's see if he's gonna big time us or not. Let's see. While I'm trying to reach him, why don't you tell us a little bit about your favorite Christmas scary movies while I'm trying to reach him?
Well, for me, if I was to go with a favorite Christmas scary movie, I'm torn between probably my two favorites of all time. Being the original 1974 Canadian classic of Black Christmas. No, we do not count those two remakes. And then also 1984 Silent Night, Deadly Night.
I just tried watching Silent Night, Deadly Night the other day, and it didn't hold up very well.
You broke up there for a second.
I was saying I just saw, or rewatched, I should say, Silent Night, Deadly Night the other day, and it did not hold up very well.
Well, I think also you have to take in context of the time that was made in. So, for example, like during when the punchline is it's a murder Santa on a rampage in a small town on Christmas Eve, and you have the cops bumbling around like Benny Hill where on 2 different occasions they actually shoot and kill just an innocent bystander, one that's surprising their kid as Santa, trying to leave the presents underneath the bed and whatnot, and the other one going around to an orphanage giving some holiday cheer during this time of dark and despair. But if you look at just pure trauma, what Billy goes through as a kid, witnessing his mother and his father being killed, his mother being raped and then killed by the convenience store burglar, being sent into the orphanage where he's going through the closest thing that I can say is what's his name goes through in the Da Vinci Code of punishing himself for every time being naughty, and having that trauma come full circle where not only does he have to wear a Christmas Santa Claus outfit for the department store he works at, but also the girl that he wants to favor in court be thrown away by the guy who bullies him and some off.
Yeah.
So I think it has more meaning and more depth than just a 80s Slayer. I think it has slasher. I think it has more depth in showing that, this isn't just some mindless guts and here's Nina Quigley in all of her voluptuous glory showing her tits and getting killed in the most epic way possible.
But that was important.
Well, hey, if that's so important, then you need to watch Return of the Living Dead and watch her dance naked on Tombstone, front bush and all.
I certainly did. That was wonderful too. By the way, you also failed to mention that the night that his parents were slaughtered in front of him by Santa Claus, he was told when they went to go see Grandpa in the old folks' home that when you ever meet Santa Claus tonight, you better run for your life.
Well, it was a mental institution, but it could be an old folks' home. They're the same thing half the time.
Half the time. Well, yeah, Grandpa was in the mental institution, and but even still, talk about a horrifying moment. Not only did he get told that, but then he gets to watch his parents get slaughtered. By the way, good evening, everybody.
Yeah.
How's it going? My apologies for being late. I was not at work. My father, who happens to be from Oklahoma, happened to be delivering a load in South Dakota, and he got into the area about 5:30. And man, how could I pass up a chance to have dinner and a cup of coffee with my old man?
Well, your dad is always dropping loads. I mean, if he wasn't, we wouldn't have gotten you.
Yep. But
amen, brother.
I'm the only one, so he apparently ain't dropping that many.
But by the way, can we get Lorenzo Lawless to come to your house and fix your fucking internet, because we didn't have any fucking problems until you came on. Excuse me.
My internet's perfectly fine tonight, actually. I don't know what that is. Being the third man, it's always the third man that has the problem.
It's always you.
You ever notice that? You. No, it's usually our guest.
Hey, I'm pulling right now 65 megabits per second, so I'm not complaining.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you're totally crushing it.
Crashing.
And we haven't had problems the last 2-3 weeks, so it's okay, why not? We just roll with it. Now we have a problem.
Could be worse. It's Monday.
Well, it's a good time to break out my Viva La Beaver, my Mexican chocolate peanut butter stout.
Nice.
Beautiful. It's a belching beaver. The people who make the Deftones drinks.
Nice.
They came out with a new Deftones edition the other day.
That's probably not as good.
Actually, it's fucking incredible. So far, the best of the bunch.
Better than their albums, I see.
Well, you know my views on Deftones, so I won't even go into that, because I have a gentleman's agreement not to slam Deftones online if I ever want to get a certain somebody on our show, and it's a guest I actually want, so I'm gonna not do that.
Really? Wait, you know somebody in the Deftones?
No.
Well, in that case, let me tell you a story of one time that I smoked weed with Chino Moreno, and it was pretty awesome. So there was one time I met up with my boy Rick out in Sacramento. And, dude, he was just like, hey, let's go get some beers. So let's go to Safeway. I was like, all right, cool. So we go to Safeway, and we're in Safeway for no longer than 2 or 3 minutes. And all of a sudden he goes, bro, stay right here. I go, all right. So I stay there. I'm standing by the fucking deli between some cookies and some pita chips. And all of a sudden, Rick goes away. He's away for like 5 minutes. He comes back and he goes, hey, we're going to go to Chino's house. What? Chino, from the Deftones. I'm like, I know who the fuck Chino is. What do you mean we're going to his house? He's like, yeah. I've known Chino for a while. I saw him over there in the freezer section. Started talking to him. He's like, come on over. So, and so we did. We bought some beers and went over to Chino's house, where he had this little tiny studio in the back of his house that he would like do stuff in, but he'd also use it as kind of like a man cave. So he just hung back, and we passed a joint back and forth. And for me, that's a big thing because I never smoke. But I'm with fucking Chino of the Deftones. I'm not gonna say no. That's like
wait a minute.
That's like your boy.
We've had a Rockstar story, and this one didn't make the cut.
No.
What the fuck, Brandon? Like, this is the biggest Rockstar you've ever fucking hung out with.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things that just trigger in memory. So, we talked about Deftones. I'm like, oh yeah, that one time.
I'm just saying, this is better than getting cussed out by the drummer of El Nino.
Yeah, fuck El Nino. So we're sitting in his little man cave studio, and he's got like one of those like Chase lounge couches that you see in like therapy offices and movies, and I'm laying on that, and he passes it to me. I take a hit, and we do this. I shit you not, Chino starts talking about aliens. And he talked about extraterrestrial life on Earth and the universe for no less than 3 hours. And when
I still can't believe this one did not make the cut. Like, you had an existential, extraterrestrial, high conversation with Chino Moreno,
right.
And yet I had to hear about you getting into El Nino's cooler.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and by the way, like,
I've known you 8 years, and this is the first I've heard of this.
No, I've told you this.
No, you have not.
Okay, well, you're hearing it.
Like, this is fucked up. Like Jordan said, Brandon's over here keeping secrets.
I swear, this is probably the last one. That or getting cussed out by the bass player of Psycho Stick.
No, you told me about that.
But no,
yeah, because you.
But was this the one with the moose ears or the one who wore the funny dome hat?
I think the hat.
He was only around for a year and then he left.
I don't know. This is like what, 3 or 4 years ago? 4 years ago at this point.
It was that guy because we played with him on that same tour.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so it's a moose. It's the guy with the moose antlers hat.
Yeah, he's a long-standing member. But anyways, to conclude my story, he talked about aliens and extraterrestrials for like 3 hours, and then when he was done talking about it, he was just like, "All right, guys, I gotta go hang out with my wife. Get out of my house." It was like a really extended episode of Cribs, and like Rick and I are just like standing out there. I'm like, "Did that just happen? Did we just smoke weed with Chino in his house?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've done it like 2 or 3 times before." I'm like, "You motherfucker."
That's badass, dude. By the way, loving your green screen tonight, Matthias, especially when your wife cuts in and out of it.
Well, I asked her to hold off, and she's
Oh, dude, no worries whatsoever, man. That's just the business, man. My dogs bark throughout the podcast. Occasionally, there's giant trucks that come through. Like, it's fucked up, but we're pros, so we work through it.
Yep. Yeah. So, anyways, the reason why we are here tonight. Why do we have Mai Tai with us? Matthias. Why do we have Lawless himself? Why do we have Lunchbox? Why do we have the boss? Well, anyways, this is episode 138 of Talking Shop with the Boss in the Box. I am your humble, heavyweight co-host called the Boss. I'm not going through the whole spiel. But what I'm trying to say is we're going to talk a little horror battle. You ready to talk a little horror battle? You ready to do some horror debates?
I am ready for the finals of this wonderful tournament, my natural novice, nihilistic, nepotistic, narcissistic ninja of nastiness. And by the way, real quick before we get too deep into it, I also would like to thank our gracious and gift-giving guest for these awesome fucking shirts, dude. Like, holy shit, thank you so much for thinking of me on my birthday and for whatever occasion it was you got that for Brandon. Like, dude, a 3 Faces of Foley Roosevelt shirt. Like, that shows not only do you have great taste, my friend, but you paid attention to me. And that matters, man. Like, I raise my Blaker Drunchies oatmeal cookie stout to you.
My pleasure, man. I raised my Bang Energy drink for you. This is the shirt company that I wear is called Roosevelt. So basically Roosevelt's with no vowels in it. I'm sporting today Macho Man Monday. So I had the many faces of Macho Man in his wonderful, glorious outfits, as my background shows so elegantly. And I got Brandon the Boss, Ultimate Warrior, and Hulk Hogan. You, the many faces of Mick Foley. And this is a company where, to me, you look good, you feel good, and you definitely have a conversation starter with your shirt.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely, man.
I will say, you know, I stand by my thing of I'm not paying $60 for a fucking t-shirt. But I will say that.
But I do the Ghostbusters one for $13. Don't give me crap about that.
You did, and I bought it, and it's wonderful. It's one of my favorite t-shirts. So thank you for that, by the way, and still for the 1,000th time, thank you again for this wonderful shirt. This episode is sponsored by Roosevelt's. Go wear their shit if you're not poor.
Or as long as you have friends that like you enough to send you some gear.
All right, my friends. So let's do a recap here. For episode 138, we're going to do the Horror Death Battle Finals. After that, we're going to take a look at the holiday promo off that usually Lunchbox and I do every single year. No Mike Vanek this year, but he might make a special appearance. Nudge, nudge.
Hint, wink.
Yep. But we have 3 competitors in the holiday promo off who are fighting for the rights and, you know, promoting each other to face myself and Mr. Lunchbox in the finals.
Real quick, you put some respect on that, sir. That is to face you and your reigning, defending, undisputed holiday promo champion, the Lunchbox.
Yes. And by the way, if you haven't seen his latest video where he's holding on to some sort of CWA world title, just because you're a champion at promos doesn't mean you get to have a title. You're not what's his name? You're not Joe Brody or whatever his name is. You know,
well, if you're talking hype man, talk Flavor Flav from NWA then.
I mean, he did get that white chick with the short hair and big boobs, so.
I'm just saying, all champions need a title, and I may or may not have procured that through questionable means. There may or may not have been a crowbar used to break into somebody's possibly or not garage and take a title off their wall. That or may not have went down like that. Like, let's just say, I got friends in low places.
Yeah. All right, we don't have to get into that. But we will be watching and reacting to 3 promo videos that have been posted. But I want to take another quick look at them, and we will declare the winner tonight on the podcast. So you will see who the winner of the promo off is taking on the 2 of us. So that's going to be a good time. So anyways, speaking of 3, let's get to the finals here. We had a knockdown, drag-out, 2-part horror death battle tournament where in the very end, we had Predator, Leprechaun, and Ellen Ripley make it to the final because it would have just been 2, but unfortunately, nobody could decide on just one to win. So here we are. We got 3, a triple threat, if you may.
A 3-way dance.
That's right.
Mexican standoff.
No, that's usually 1-on-1.
No, that's 3. That's 1 versus 2 in 3 different ways.
Is it a Mexican standoff if there's no Mexicans?
Well, let's look at Good, Bad, and the Ugly with Clint Eastwood, Ellen Vlight, and the Italian American guy who took us apart, made the Super 6 custom.
No, I do like the good, the bad, the ugly comparison. The only thing is, 2 of them are fucking ugly, so.
Well, one's ugly if he keeps the mask on.
No, and I mean, and I'm not into Sigourney Weaver like that either.
I mean, I was pretty sure.
What? You're not a fan of the 1979 jockey underwear granny panties?
Was that an ad she did?
No, it's when she's in the escape pod in Ridley Scott's Alien, running away from the xenomorph when she realized she's about to get mouth fucked by it.
Oh, okay, yeah, and then at the beginning of Aliens, she's still in it, and I think she's in it at the beginning of 3 too.
Yeah, in Hypersleep they wear basically boxers and a white beater. I mean, but I think she upgraded from whatever she was wearing in Alien to jockey or Fruit of the Loom for like hair.
My friends. Sigourney Weaver can't be as hot as Jamie Lee Curtis and Activia commercials hot, okay?
That's like saying you want to have Jamie Lee Curtis as hot as she was with Lindsay Lohan in Freaky Friday.
Or Jamie Lee Curtis as hot as she was in True Lies.
Okay, now you're trying to actually be hot.
Well, she's better hot with the black dress without the frill on it. I will say that.
Like I said, she got there. She did a good job of going from frumpy to fucking fabulous real quick. But anyway, we are not here to talk about Jamie Lee Curtis's rockin' body. We are here to talk about death. Death, I say, between the Predator, the Leprechaun, and of course, everybody's favorite badass, Ellen Ripley. Now, normally, me and Brandon come up with scenarios here, but being as we've had an expert on our panel every time, we decided to reach out to him and let Matthias go ahead and come up with the scenario. Plus, he's been begging to be on the show for this particular topic, and we couldn't turn him down, especially after this sweet-ass gear we got. We take bribes, is all we're saying.
Boss in the Box on Venmo. Send us money.
Make it rain, folks.
So...
Okay.
Yes, please, as you were about to do, please tell us your scenario for this final 3-way dance.
All right. So for the scenario, we're on the USNC Sulaco, the wonderful Colonial Marine spaceship at the end of Aliens. And we're going to basically nix Alien 3 onwards out of the equation. All of a sudden, the ship's alarm goes off, stating, "The shock is not working. I repeat." Oh, wait, wrong movie. You have 5 minutes to get minimum safe clearing distance as one of the hypersleep chambers has been broken into. Ellen Ripley is woken out of hypersleep and in a dazed and confused look, looks over to a collective herself and goes over to Newt and sees someone messing around with her hypersleep chamber. And it's none other than our wonderful midget of a man, a non-Ewok, not time pirate, but the Leprechaun himself. And he has decided to kill everyone on board, saving Ellen Ripley for last. Now, as Ellen does her wonderful gag line with the Queen Xenomorph of saying, "Get away from her, you bitch," there is a breach in the Sulaco's outer wall. A craft comes through the hangar bay, crash lands, and sets down as it rattles the chaise through the hollow bay, deck bay. On the hatch opening and everyone waiting to see what comes out, comes the Yachi, also known as the Predator. And that is our scenario for a 3-way battle in space. It going to be...
I like that it's in space. Because
there's no other way it can work. There's no other way it can work.
See, my scenario, yes, it did actually. And it was, Ripley's back on Earth, kicks over the box, Leprechaun set free, bam, Predator crash lands. So either way, he crash lands.
That's the only way the Predator is going to find himself in any of those situations.
Right? Why can't these motherfuckers drive their ships?
Well, like they say, they like to come in hot. What can you expect?
Well, I mean, in AVP, they dropped them off like in basically little missile pods. Like the mothership flew over and just kind of dropped them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the same thing happened in the first Predator in the title sequence, but in Predator 2 with Danny Glover, they crash landed on Earth in the middle of downtown Compton.
Right. He wasn't trying to land in L.A. He just happened to.
Except where LAPD decided to drive every Pontiac minivan for a squad car, which I still find extremely disturbing.
Everything about the second Predator's disturbing, dude. Like, really. Like, this is who he chooses to hunt. Danny Glover?
Well, I mean, he crash landed in fucking Compton because he wanted to, smoke some weed with the homies.
Well, and then he starts taking down. Well, first it's drug lords.
Ah, yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Colombians versus the Jamaicans over turf for cocaine and God knows what else.
Right, and he just sees all this fighting going on, and he's like, "I want to get me some." Like,
seems like a good time.
Right?
Yeah.
This sounds like my kind of party.
Well, and very much like a Gatsu knife, basically turned the Colombians into an all-you-can-eat Brazilian steakhouse buffet of cuts and slices and dices and julienne fries.
Now did Predator 2 actually hold up, in your opinions?
I think it did, actually. I just rewatched it probably no more than 2 months ago, and looking at everything as it is, you had the Predator that wasn't just running around the jungle, was actually truly what was envisioned in the Dark Horse comics and the novelizations of the concrete jungle. I thought he had a better use of atmosphere, especially like Bart standing in for the LA Metro. That scene was phenomenal, watching Bill Paxton become the first person being killed by a xenomorph, a Predator, and a Terminator.
Right, history.
And that's right there. Then Lance Hedrick's Alien vs. Predator came out in 2004. But you had much more depth of what the Predators did. It showed that we weren't the only ones out there beyond Predators and Xenomorph and other species out there that we haven't been introduced yet. But also shows that the Yancha, the Predator species, has been coming to Earth since the dawn of time, because you see in one of the centerpieces is the head skull of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So imagine that for a little 5-minute introduction to a Predator movie. A Predator taking down a T-Rex, no camo, no laser blast, just a spear or his little razor claws like Wolverine.
Side note, I don't know if anybody has seen the new Jurassic World teaser trailer, but I can't wait. That last Jurassic World movie that they came out with was just fucking garbage. But this next one coming up is going to be fucking amazing. So anyways.
Oh, yes.
Anyways, so back to Predator. Yes, he has proven he can hunt. He has proven he can kill. He's got awesome gadgets. He's got stealth. He's Batman with a face only a mother could love.
And about 9 feet tall.
Is he that big? I don't think he's that big though.
They're big.
They're stand up to 9 feet, but the actor who played him, who also was the same actor as Harry in the Hendersons.
Okay.
If you don't remember that, he's 7'8", and he literally lifted Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's only like 5'7", up one hand. That's no special effects. He literally lifted him up by his neck and held him up there for, I think, 3 different takes for at least 2 minutes per take. If you watch the special features on the 4K release of Predators that came out 2 years ago.
Yeah, he's a monster.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And before he got into acting, he was on the 1978 through 1981 Los Angeles Lakers as a point guard.
No wonder why he's so strong.
Yes, indeed.
Palm and balls and shit.
Well, that, and then when you have to go against like your teammates Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson, what do you expect? You got to pay to play.
Yeah, right. Your strength and conditioning better be on point.
Okay, so
How tall did you say he was? 7'8"?
He is 6'8", 6 foot.
6'8".
I mean, 7'8". My mistake. He's 7 feet 8 inches tall.
wait a minute.
So he's Giant Gonzalez sized.
You don't call him tiny for a reason.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna look that up.
Like,
I'm sure Mai Tai is right because he's right about almost everything. But
I may be off by an inch, but I'm pretty sure he's 7'8". That guy makes Shaquille O'Neal look small.
yeah, that's a monster, dude. And so, all right, so if we're utilizing him, we're still talking about 8 feet of fucking solid extraterrestrial muscle, with a very technologically advanced and cunning mind for combat. They are outsmartable.
They are, if they're in a new environment that they have nothing to, but if they're going to the same hunting grounds or dealing with the same prey over and over again, they pretty much fall in the same routine of a one-trick pony of doing the same thing over and over again. So
Right,
just
if
like
it
you,
ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. That's why they'll send typically 3 at a time, whether they're to hunt prey unconditionally or what they view as the ultimate prey, the xenomorphs, and have them let loose on a colony of some kind or planet of some kind, whether human or whatever they choose as the host prey. And if they can't kill them all, they will blow up the planet. Essentially, do what Ellen Ripley says so elegantly when they lose contact in the reactor of the colony of LV-246, or sorry, LV-426. I say we take off and nuke the site from orbit.
So
Just to be sure.
So just to put a little footnote to the height here, he wasn't 7'8", but he was 7'3", which is not much of a difference.
Not when you get up that high.
Well, and then also you're comparing Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's still in his high fives, so there's a foot and a half more of difference between height.
I remember being on the Walk of Fame and finding Arnold Schwarzenegger's over at the what is that theater called in Hollywood?
The Chinese Man's Grove Theater.
That one, yeah, thank you. He literally wears like a size 8, like 8 or 9 tops. Like he's got little tiny feet, Arnold.
Yeah,
same he's Ishii, dude. He's huge. He's broad.
Yeah, he's built like a Mack truck from the waist up, but other than that, the guy's small and tiny. Robert Downey Jr. and even Tom Cruise, they're like 5'4" or less. And even Robert Downey Jr. in production stills in the Avengers series, you'll see him wear platform shoes with a 3 or 4 inch heel on them, so he can at least stand eye to eye with Mark Ruffalo or some of his other colleagues to appear taller than them.
Right, kind of the same thing with Sylvester Stallone having to stand on a step stool to go eye to eye with Dolph Lundgren.
Yep.
Because he's only 5'6".
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize this.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they Hollywood the fuck out of actors, but like, I didn't realize the top action stars in the world are like less, shorter than 5'7".
Yeah, if you even look at like old World's Strongest Man's competitions from Metarex, any of the guys from like Iceland, Norway, Sweden that were like over 6'2", 6'3", struggled on any of the full bench lifting because they would have so much strain in the knees, the thighs, and the lower back, where the more smaller guys would be able to do better. It's the same reason why in the military, as a pilot, you're not higher than 6 foot because you can't take the G forces when you're in, especially in fighter jets, going to 7, 8, or even 9 Gs.
Okay, so we've talked about Predator. We've talked what they can do, what they're capable of. They've made it this far, so they're doing something right. But let's talk about Ellen Ripley here for a second.
Ellen Ripley in this scenario, from what I see, is more of she's now the vengeful warrior that she's going to be. She is now the surrogate mother of Newt, the life partner of Hicks, the adoptive child of Bishop, or what's left of his android carcass. And basically, that's her family. That's the only thing that provides comfort to her. And Warwick Davis in the scenario has just taken that from her. And so she's going to be pissed full of estrogen and whatever else that they feed the colonial marines to make them the ultimate badasses. And pretty much is going to either grab a pulse rifle, special that she assembled with the flamethrower and the grenade launcher, or she's going to see how quickly she can boot up and power on that power lifter and go back like she did with the Queen Xenomorph.
So
that's what she's going to try to do.
So Ellen Ripley is a badass, notwithstanding. She's got training. She's angry. She's got indomitability up the ass. But let's look at the Leprechaun here. He is a magical being with basically only one weakness. And
true.
So we have seen
his main.
I don't know. We've seen in prior movies he's been blown up. He's just pops right back together.
Yep. He is basically mindfuckery 101. And, just like as we said, between, the Jinn from Wishmaster and Warwick Davis, they're both going to kill you. It's just with Leprechaun, you're going to die faster, or die of laughter, I'm sorry. And just a cruel fate. What I see in this scenario happening is Warwick Davis is going to taunt Ellen Ripley with, I can bring them all back and show you. And kill him. You have them all back, and everything will just be as normal, and you can go back to Earth in hypersleep, and I'll leave you alone. And regardless of who wins, in my opinion, Warwick is just going to either get Ellen Ripley with that little bit of grief, maybe by have the magical chest burster pop out of her chest, giving the ultimate fear of her manifestations. Or she's just going to look at the Predator and be like, whatever. Poof, goes his head.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. He doesn't have the ability just to poof. You know what I mean? And especially, we don't know if his powers will work on the Yachi. Like, that's something else that you're not taking into account. He may be an existential being, essentially immortal, a magical creature, et cetera, but we don't know how that matches up with extraterrestrials. The question is, are they aware of each other? Ripley may be aware of the existence of the Yachi, just thinking they would never show up in her presence. You know what I mean? Because she was a scientist to begin with. The Marines, knew about, they didn't really know what these xenomorphs were, but they ride around space combating things.
Okay.
They've gone on other bug hunts before, as it were.
Okay, so let's take a look at Leprechaun 4 in Space, that wonderful Trimark direct-to-video classic then, okay? He's blown up by a grenade from a pulse rifle, okay? And it's literally what I had for dinner this night, a slab of prime rib. A Colonial Marine pisses on him, and his ethos travels up his urine stream into the hole of his penis, and right in the middle when he's trying to get on with another Marine at the ship, Warwick Davis pops out like a jack-o'-lantern from hell out of his chest and says, "Oh, I better use protection if I were you." So even if you blast him with the shoulder laser cannon that the Predators have, slice him with the special claws, stab him with the spear, throw him out of the airlock, he's just going to come back like a bad case of space herpes.
And we're missing one key component, his weakness. Now, your setting says he is in space. How the fuck is anybody getting a 4-leaf clover?
All right. This is something I thought of. Now, remember, the one other advantage that Ellen Ripley has over everybody here is home turf. She is in her element, at least the element she's come to grow in the last, say, month or two, or however long it took them to get from the station they were at to LV 426. So she has the ability to utilize the computer systems. She's not a dummy. You know what I'm saying? So she may see all this going on. Yachi crashes. Leprechaun's already fucking killed the family. Ellen is first and foremost a survivor. If she thought she could save anybody, she would. But now that she knows it's just her, it's time to get into fight or flight mode, back out of the room. Hopefully these two creepy things fight it out a little bit. Maybe one takes the other one out. We don't know. And see if she can't find any research on them, which leads to the fact that Bishop is still intact because the Leprechaun's not going to kill Bishop. So she may be able to get the elements, or at least learn of what elemental forces it takes to hurt this Leprechaun. They might even know about this Leprechaun. He might be in the database. So she might be able to chemically reproduce whatever it is that devastates the Leprechaun, that he is not able to get past in the lab.
Well, even if they did have a food replicator, which this is not Star Trek. If you look at all the food that the Marines have in the dropship when they're in the mess hall, it's the same thing that the military has. It's MREs, meals ready to explode. The grits is literally paste. The orange juice comes out of a box. Okay,
right.
Everything is
Especially
pre-processed.
like cornbread neither.
Exactly. But hey, when Sartarian, baby, no one can eat Sartarian. So the point being is that there's no way that there's going to be a 4-leaf clover in space. There's no plants as a garden, as a secondary oxygen bay. Everything is through filters, oxygen generation through chemical bios. And you're in basically a sterile environment. That ship is designed to do only one thing only. Drop 24 to 48 angry, pissed off Marines that just got woken up out of hypersleep and basically do everything, including dropping a nuclear bomb on whatever target they decide, eradicate and endanger that species with.
But here's the other thing to think of. How did Leprechaun arrive on this? And if he arrived in a box, said Clover's around.
Hence how it was in outer space when he was there.
Well, exactly.
In outer space, in the fourth one, he was there trying to take over another planet.
Oh.
and woo a very voluptuous former playmate. So the sad thing is that whatever movie with what's her name from Friends as her first acting role basically goes out the window at that point.
Jennifer Aniston, by the way.
Thank you. And strangely enough, she's also Greek.
Jennifer Aniston?
Yes, she is.
Oh. Explains why she still looks good at 50 years old.
Yes, with that wonderful olive clove complexion of hers.
Good point. So, all right. I think we got to start deciding a winner here. So, I think you hit the nail on the head. Ripley would leave and try to do some research, do something somehow, and leave the two to battle. I think there would be a nice battle. There'd be some barbs thrown, some missiles shot, some things blown up. Hell, even Leprechaun himself will probably get blown up a time or two. But pull himself back together and, do something crazy to the point where Predator is getting eliminated first.
Yeah, it's either, regardless whether the Leprechaun gets Ripley and the Predator to go at it, or Ripley runs away and the Leprechaun deals with the Yamcha itself. Okay. Yeah, there's going to be some blow-ups. There's going to be some few laughs as well, but I view it, regardless of what happens, if Ellen Ripley runs away and tries to formulate something to defeat Leprechaun's just going to come up with a little tiny little remark with a little Irish jig and say, look at the Irish and and kapoof. She's dead.
Now, here's the other thing. If Ripley's smart enough to figure out his other weakness, not the detriment to him that is the four-leaf clover, but the fact that he cannot stand dirty shoes. If Ripley blows the Yachi to bits and it explodes all over the remaining bodies of the Marines and their boats, she's got time.
Well, the other thing is, first of all, the Predator don't wear boots; they're barefoot. And second of all,
guts get on Ripley's shoes.
Okay, but also, here's the thing: Ripley's shoes are in her boot locker. There's no boots or slippers for them to walk outside their hyper sleep chambers. So they're walking around barefoot until they get to their rest chambers.
First thing she's going to do is go gear up, which includes getting suitable footwear.
No, I think she's going to run around in a white beater and a pair of granny panties trying to figure something out, and her shoes are going to be her last priority, and she's just going to be like Bill Paxton and be like, Jesus, sir, it's freezing in here.
What, do you want me to get your slippers for you, son?
Look at my eye.
Yeah.
As you can tell, I've watched that movie one too many times. It holds a place in my heart, and I honestly believe it's one of the few films that could stand the test of time.
Aliens?
Yes, indeedy.
I will 155% co-sign that, dude. Incredible movie, incredible cast. Everything about it was good. It was supposed to be a stupid action horror, and it was. And it was the best ever.
All right, so I think we've pretty much determined that Predator is not making it past, so I'm going to eliminate him if that's okay.
I second that motion, good sir.
I'll stamp that.
Okay. Now, it is down to the lady and the little man.
Now, once again, the fact of where we're at puts Ellen Ripley at a distinct disadvantage. Unless she was able to do as I said, and that's fabricate a four-leaf clover somehow, some way, which Matthias is absolutely right. That's probably just not going to happen.
No, realistically, what's probably going to happen is Leprechaun's going to play a mind game. And I hate to go back to that. We went back to Jamie Lee Curtis from earlier in the day, but it's going to be very much that cat and mouse game like the serial killer does in Copycat. And basically he's going to toy with her emotions, wind her up, and then right at the last second, here comes the red herring of the Chekhov's gun of whatever you want to call it, and kill her for no point and no fun. And if this was any other battle, whether it was Jason Voorhees or Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Leatherface, the guy from The Burning, whoever it may be, Ellen would have a chance, whether she blows him out of the airlock or hits him with a pulse rifle, crushes him with the power loader, whatever. But Leprechaun's going to win.
Can she blow him out of the airlock?
She could if she's smart enough to, but remember the airlocks in that Sulaco are in the loading bay, and they are basically the floor of the loading bay. So if she blows herself out, she's unless she anchors herself down again, she's gonna get sucked out herself. So unless you want to count a kill, be killed as we both die, but I initiated as a winner. Well, you're dealing with someone that could still rematerialize themselves no matter what environment they're in.
Right. In the end, she's probably not going to kill him, but she may be rid of him.
But then, like a case of space herpes, he'll be back.
Yeah.
You think he chased the ship through space? Like, do you think he flies or he kind of swims through space?
No, I think he summons a pot of gold, and like Nyan Cat flies through the cosmos with a rainbow behind him.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, no, I think he kicks his tiny little feet in adorable fashion and it swims as well.
Like, just kind of, breaststroke through his way through space.
Or he could just do like, oh, there's no place like the Sulaco, and click his heels 3 times and magically he's there.
Right, just because he'd have to say something smart ass because it's him.
You know what? Like, my honest opinion is kind of what you guys already said. The only way that Ripley is doing this is if she kicks him out to space. Without the 4-leaf clover, she can't turn him to stone. She can't kill him, but to get rid of him would constitute a victory.
Right, if you neutralize the threat. A fighter, a 1-2-3 still beats your opponent. A submission still beats your opponent. Getting rid of them still beats your opponent. Live to fight another day, essentially.
Yeah, but for Leprechaun Warwick Davis, who portrays him, it's very much the fun in the game of it all, and he's going to prolong it as much as possible, and no matter what Ripley tries to do to eject him out, crush him, vaporize him, whatever, he's going to call through it, and, very much similar as, a knife fighter disabling someone, trying to press the button. How do you take the person out? You take out the hand before it presses the button, just like in Starship Troopers. So there's no way that I see that Ellen winning this. If it was anyone else in these matchups, I see her having a chance. But with, Warwick Davis here, I doubt it.
And in this environment, too, is crucial.
Yeah.
If we were on Earth, she has a much better fighting chance. But here in this element, she's got her back against the wall.
Yeah. Even if she went against the Jinn from Wishmaster, she would know better not to wish for this, and the Wishmaster would basically be locked in its vial of whatever it is in. And I know, as much as I love trolling you on this, but even if Julian Sands was here from Warlock, if it was on Earth, she could at least nail his footprints to the ground and mobilizing him. I like to see her try and drive a gauge 2 nail through whatever metal composite compound through the Sulaco wall to make this happen. It ain't happening, bro. She's dead. And even if Warwick Davis was being replaced by Julian Sands from Warlock, he would just fuck your grandmother and say, "Toodaloo's, motherfucker," as she kills him. Or as he kills her, my mistake.
And for the record, Leprechaun would hands down take out Julian Sands.
I don't know. His Looney Tunes gag of flying and like coming in either like Taz the Tasmanian Devil or taking off like the Roadrunner whenever he eats the blood of or fat of an unborn, unbaptized virgin is a nice gag off.
The movie's terrible, by the way.
Warlock's awesome, dude. You're just a hater.
I think he just likes Julian Sands better in Arachnophobia because he dies a more gruesome death.
I forgot about that. I forgot that he was in that. Yeah, okay. So what if we decided? Sounds like you guys are both on the Leprechaun train.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, the only thing I could think of is neutralizing him to space, but I don't even think he would let her get to that point.
Even if he did, like Matthias said, now it's the hunt. Now it's the game.
And that's just going to put him from whatever he was at in terms of nuts and insanity to 11 and beyond.
Well, let's take it to the chat. I mean, I have a feeling this is going to go one way, but everybody in the chat listening, who is taking this home? Is it Is it the squirrely, witty Leprechaun, or is it the indomitable Ellen Ripley?
That has been your word for this. Did you listen to ICP's song Ninja or something before we started doing these?
No, I play Hero Clicks, and that's a term.
Oh, okay. I was going to say in fucking Ninja, the opening, ninjas are possessed with indomitable fighting skills of a ninja.
Basically,
a ninja.
Basically, indomitability just means that you cannot be stopped. There's nothing that's going to stop you from accomplishing a goal.
A dogged spirit.
Right. Yeah. So we got one for Leprechaun, one for Ripley. Anybody else?
Who voted for Ripley?
Madam J.
Oh, hey, what's up, Madam J?
We've still got a few people in the chat listening, so I know you could hear us. Drop that.
I know you can hear us.
We need to crown a winner. We have our votes. You have your votes. Let's get this.
See, I think we all kind of agreed before we even went on air, though, who was winning this one. Like, I put some thought into this all week.
Yeah, I tried to have it to where Ellen could win, and I mean, it was literally like Hail Mary, full of grace nonsense shit, where it's like, this is not going to happen unless this is a Charles Band or Roger Corman production, and I'm not going to disgrace Ellen's character and fame and James Cameron's writing ability with that type of schlock. So,
Ellie says Lubin takes it.
Lubin.
Leprechaun.
All right. Well, in that case, ladies and gentlemen, your winner and new horror death battle champion, the little son of a bitch himself, Leprechaun.
This just goes to show that no matter what you do, you cannot beat Warwick Davis.
Yes, indeed. And not to mention, before he was Leprechaun, he was an Ewok.
And he was Willow.
He was Willow before that.
And also a time bandit, and he was one of the school professors and bank goblins in the Harry Potter franchise. And he still comes out to Santa Cruz's Shakespeare Festival about every other year and portrays in like Hamlet and Othello.
Oh, no shit.
No shit, we got to catch that next time.
I will take a look and see the next time he plays. I will definitely go for that. It's not that far from where Bray and I are, and from Los Banos, you can get there in probably less than 2 hours.
Oh, I'm very familiar with Santa Cruz. I got married there.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I adore Santa Cruz. Very special place in my heart. Leprechaun is not your height, Jordan. You are not fucking 3.5 feet tall.
Not to mention, Jordan, I'm sure you may have a wiggle with your walk, but nowhere near what Warwick Davis has for his dwarfism.
Yeah, I think,
and he definitely has a giggle in his talk.
Yeah, I think Jordan's what, 4'11", maybe something like that.
Is Jordan only that tall?
Between 4'11" and 5 foot, I think.
Okay.
I'll go with the 5 foot. I would say she's more size than anything else.
Yeah, 4'11", 4'11".
I didn't realize Jordan was that small.
Damn, neither did I. That's fantastic. Little people doing little things. Awesome.
Doing little things.
But you know
amazing as they may be.
But you know what? We had a little person do an amazing thing by Leprechaun winning the first ever horror death battle tournament. How did you guys like it? We had 2.5 episodes dedicated to this, so I think some of you liked it just a little bit. So, thank you. And I was thinking we could do another thing similar to this. Not horror death battle, but something I was thinking of. We could do band battle. Battle of the bands. We'll get a collection of bands and bring out some factoids on these bands and let them battle to the death.
Or if you want to do, since we're talking movies, next one we could do cinematic-wise should be 80s action heroes.
We already had that movie. It's called The Expendables.
Yeah, but
not all of them.
And a bunch of them were on the same team too.
That would be
so. And besides, I wouldn't say just 80s. I'd take it 80s all the way to today. That way we could really match up like some of the greats, like fucking, seeing Schwarzenegger take on, the Star-Lord or something of that.
Chris Pratt, yeah. That'd be fun.
The Terminator takes on the Star-Lord. Fucking, like Bruce Willis, John McClane takes on fucking
RoboCop.
Jean-Claude Van Damme from Hard to Kill. Like,
I just want somebody to take on RoboCop.
I think you had Terminator and also Aliens take on RoboCop, and RoboCop wins them all in the comic and video game
Oh
series.
shit!
yeah, but that's because it was his fucking series.
It's Dark Horse, and Dark Horse actually favors the Xenomorphs and the Terminators over RoboCop. It was like a 3 or 4 episode miniseries in the comics, and that was like 93, 94.
Nice.
Dark Horse used to be really fucking dope.
Yeah, it did. But if you want to talk about 80s action heroes, there's a documentary I highly recommend you guys watch. It's on Prime. It's called In Search of Last Action Heroes, and definitely goes through the mainstay of your main ones, but also a lot of ones that you may not be aware of from like either Canon, Trimark, and even the direct-to-video scene that came out in the 80s and really boomed in the 90s.
Some of those where you'll watch it and you'll be like, oh, I remember that guy. Like, I forgot this movie existed. I wasn't even sure. Like, I thought I dreamed it.
That, or I remember that cover art at the VHS store at Blockbuster or Hollywood Video. Why didn't I pick up that movie sooner?
See, but that's great because sometimes I'll go back to those days when I used to spend an hour or two at the video store just checking out movies before I'd pick one up. And like, there was always that decision because you only had, enough for one, maybe two. And you had to choose wisely because you had to bring it back in 26 hours.
I just remember with my dad at Hollywood Video where I saw this one movie called Eliminators. And it just said Manborg, Ninja, Scientist, Pirate. And I said, I must watch this movie. And I bugged my dad and said, we must watch this. Not knowing what's her name's face from Star Trek The Next Generation on it had a nude scene, even though this is still rated PG, not R, with all the blood and gore in it. And how wonderfully epic and terrible that Charles Band production of a film was. But knowing that, why the hell did G.I. Joe not come out with this type of action set when I was a kid?
Oh, man. So, before we let you go, my friend, and we get into the next portion of the podcast, I got to know, you kind of mentioned it before, but dwindle it down. What is your absolute favorite Christmas scary movie? I'll give you mine first before you answer. Mine first, hands down, is Santa's Sleigh, starring Bill Goldberg.
The classic comedy one for me. I like enjoying watching that one as well, too. Holds up a candle to my heart right next to Jack Frost. And no, not the one starring Michael Keaton, but what's her name from American Pie series in it. Yeah. But my two favorite Christmas horror films is the Canadian troper of 1974's Black Christmas, along with the 1984 Silent Night, Deadly Night. Those are my two absolute favorites in terms of gore, in terms of gratuitous nudity, plot, just depth of how a slasher movie can go without just basically being, let's just kill a bunch of no-name teens having sex in the woods or on Christmas, watching, whoever. You have depth and character development that just shows how demented someone can be pushed to the absolute breaking point and then takes on essentially what they hate and despise the most. And definitely gives my consent of why Catholicism is probably one of the most heinous and spiteful religions I've ever encountered in my life, based on what Billy goes through at the orphanage for 18 years of his life, or no, 12 years of his life, because he was 6 when his mother was raped and murdered by the convenience store robber dressed up as Santa. So from what Mother Superior did to him all that time, that was just, no wonder why he went apeshit crazy at the end. And then basically sets it off where here's this little spawning kid that says at the end of the orphanage, he was naughty.
By the way, you mentioned Black Christmas. Like 2 or 3 days ago, I literally watched the remake of that from like 2009, I think. And it was so bad. It was a terrible movie. Terrible.
It was from 2007, and it was. They even brought the original writer and like 2 or 3 of the original girls as like the sorority mom, like one of the mothers, and like the police receptionist. It was terrible. And I didn't even bother watching the one made in Australia from like 2019 because they basically made it the girls' version of the Warriors set inside a house with a serial killer. I mean, it's like, come on. You know, you remade this movie once, it was garbage, and you have a balls to do it again? Come on. If you want to remake a movie, take anything from Charles Band or Roger Corman's scripts of shit shows that were made on a budget of $50,000 or less, get a better writer to it, and add maybe a $10 million to the budget, and you may actually have a decent movie to watch. I mean, let's face it, Roger Corman on a $20,000 budget made a serial killer movie about a killer's stump. Not like someone who has like no hand. I'm talking the stump of a leftover tree in the ground.
Right.
Where the tree stump gets up, walks over on fishing wire, and kills someone.
What about you, Lunchbox? What's your favorite Christmas horror movie?
I'm sorry, I just asked for listener questions and fucking we had one dropped in that I cannot wait to answer here in a few minutes. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. You know what? I mean, you just can't beat Gremlins straight up. Like, because they pivot it into a Christmas movie. They kind of backflip into being a Christmas movie. Like, you don't really think about how much of a Christmas movie it is until she tells that horrible story of why she hates Christmas because her dad fucking tried to be Santa, come down the chimney, and gets burned alive for his troubles, and they don't find him for a couple of days. Like that's just wonderful.
And last question here is Lorenzo Lawless, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Die Hard is an absolute Christmas movie, and I will say this best as every internet meme on the planet has said, it is not fucking Christmas until I see Hans Gruber get pushed off Nakatomi Plaza Tower.
Hey, honey, did you hear that? Die Hard's a fucking Christmas movie. Kick rocks.
And so is Batman Returns.
Yes, but we don't talk about that or the Batnip. Actually, yeah, you're right, it is.
Wait, why don't we talk about Batman Returns? Batman Returns was pimp sauce, dude. Danny DeVito is the Penguin.
I was thinking, sorry, Batman and Robin. My mistake.
Oh,
I was about to say Bat Nipples.
Batman for...
Because that one is also set at Christmas, strangely enough.
Batman Forever was amazingly bad and good. It was one of those movies that was so bad it was good.
Right, you enjoyed it because it sucked.
Right.
I could think of better Christmas movies that were more intelligent to watch than that one.
Well, Matthias Lawless, thank you for joining us for the Horror Death Battle. I don't know if you have any links to drop, but if you want to drop them right now.
If you guys want to get shirts like these, they're having a special Black Friday Christmas sale. It's Roosevelt, so Roosevelt's without any vowels, so rsvlts.com. Go check out links, sign up for the rewards program. You're able to get $10 off your first purchase. And also, if you refer anyone, you can get more royalty points to get more free swag and gear. Besides shirts, they have hats, beanies, face masks, neck garters, swim trunks, and they're even coming out with a shoe line next year. And it's not just wrestling. They have a Gremlins t-shirt line, a horror movie line for Chucky, for Child's Play, Jason Voorhees for Freddy Krueger, multiple things out there, and they're always adding all the time. So again, that's Roosevelt's, rsvlts.com. You'll find something that'll definitely be a conversation starter. And trust me, this is probably the nicest shirt that I've ever owned. That is an Italian silk shirt. So thank you guys for having me. Pleasure to be a part of it. And next time you guys need a trivia nut like myself to partake, I will gladly come beckoning when asked.
Oh, we might have a job for you later. We've got something chambered for next year that we are putting some diligent work into. So we might need you.
Definitely. I'll be there.
Love it.
All right. Thank you, man. Go ahead and sign off, and appreciate your time.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, gents. You guys all have a good one. Stay frosty.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Oh yes. Wait, where's this thing? I need to move it. Where did it go? No, I know while you're gone. I'm trying to remove. What did you do? Oh, okay. Well, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed Horror Death Battle. I would like to do it again, preferably around, I don't know, Halloween of next year. Yes, me too. And you know what? Give a little paraphrase on your Monday motivation today, because I got something to say about that. And you saw my comment, but I got something to say about it.
Because I was gone for a minute. Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay. By the way, Ellie, in response to the question, from one to human centipede, how close are you to that ass? I'm gonna take it a step further and say you are in that one where homeboy's head's all the way up there. You're as close as you want to be, sweetheart. Human centipede +1.
Anything for Ellie.
Anything for Ellie. That's my buddy, dude.
My buddy.
That beautiful bag of bullshit right there.
My buddy. Wherever she goes, we go. My buddy.
No, Ellie, we agreed on this. I'm not the best, because how could I be the best when you're the best? So we agreed, we the best. And I'm gonna fucking get you so bad on Friday at the show. Oh, special occasion, I'm gonna go live. We're gonna video this shit.
What exactly are you getting?
Ellie to turn bright red.
Oh. Well, considering
Like,
that she's
trust me,
pale, that's going to be a pretty easy task.
Well, she's making the mistake of coming to a loser show just 4 scant days before her birthday.
Okay.
So, you know, your old buddy Lunchbox can't not make sure his friend has a good birthday. I'm going to hopefully have 2 birthdays in the house that night. So, you know me, holiday season, Santa Claus the fuck up, give the gift that keeps on giving.
What? I will honestly say this. So far, I need some wood. Where's some wood? Wait. Okay, knocking on some wood here. This has been the best holiday season I have ever partook in so far.
I disappeared after I set my beer down.
Oh, man. You messed with your camera.
I'm sorry. You know what? I can still see me on this side.
All right. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to turn your camera off, turn it back on. See if that helps.
Pull that maneuver.
Did you turn it on and off again? Okay. It's off, and maybe it's coming back. I don't know. Oh, yep, we got you back. Let me make you smaller again. Honey, I Shrunk the Box. Here we go.
Honey, I Shrunk the Box. Magic Witchcraft. God, this new beer I opened up was fucking sweet.
What do you got?
It's the Epoch Imperial Stout with coconut, vertigo coffee, cacao, vanilla beans, and milk sugar. 10.5% ABV.
So you got one very solid beer to drink tonight.
That's my second, because I drank the Drunchies first. No, seriously though, sorry about being late. Like I said, my dad showed up and I couldn't pass up the opportunity to go take a couple pictures with the old man, have a cup of coffee, a little bit of dinner at one of the 209's greatest restaurants in Anderson's Pea Soup. You know, just couldn't pass it up. And I know you understand that. I was ready to go while the weight screen was up, so you could have tagged me in at any minute, but you wanted to go ahead and shit on me live because that's your only defense.
Yeah, because any time that you can't say anything is good for me.
It's the only time you got a fighting chance.
Well, we'll see about that, because the holiday promo off is here, ladies and gentlemen.
It's the great holiday promo battle.
Oh, it's a battle now.
It's the great holiday promo battle.
Okay, I always thought it was the holiday promo off, but all right, here we are. So it's the great holiday promo battle, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we're at. It is the time of year where we blatantly talk mad shit about each other in wrestling-style promos in order to get our jollies off for the holiday. As I was saying, I'm having a pretty good holiday so far. hopefully Christmas, fingers crossed, knock on wood, is going to be even better. Last few years, I'll spare you the sob stories, but I will say the last 2 or 3 years, Christmas has been bullshit in my house. In my mindset. So I think this is the year to turn it around. I'm in good spirits. Everybody else is in good spirits. And I cannot wait to verbally demolish you and whoever else wins tonight.
And I'm with it. And as we discussed, I am your reigning defending champion. Last year, I thoroughly thrashed you and Mike Vanek within inches of your lives and made a good showing of it. And you gave me a fist fight at the end there with your stealing of my idea. But that all being said, we're going to have a lot of fun with this. And this year, our normal third man, Mike Vanek, decided he did not want to compete. And that's okay. Because like Brandon said, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, hopefully he'll at least make one appearance throughout this, even if it's not in competition. But we decided to put it out there to you shopaholics who wants to come and get some of the champ and his co-host. So we went and got 3 of our biggest fans, 3 of our biggest supporters that we know can talk some shit, and we had them go ahead and unleash.
Yeah.
And now we ask your opinion.
Yeah, so we're going to need your help on this. We got 3 videos to show you if you haven't watched them on Facebook already. And we have a poll up, and we already have votes on the poll, but it's not as big as I thought it would be. So let's get some online, in-person votes right here, right now, and determine who is facing Box and I in the final. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the window capture so you can hear what's going on here. As long as I find the right fucking Skype window. Jesus Christ.
I mean, if you don't, I can always just mute my mic and play along and listen along with our listeners if that makes your life easier.
No, I got it. Here we go. Shares.
Ellie says we already know. And yes, I know you are one of the ones who you did not vote in the official poll, but so I'll give you a pass on it.
All right. So do you see the screen?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So that means you're going to be able to hear things. First off, in our what the fuck? Okay, there it is. First one I'm going to show Francisco Chaidez. He came,
and we do reserve the right to cut you up during these promos, motherfuckers. So if any of you are creeping out there watching, don't get mad when we bash on you.
Because that's the name. That's the name of the game.
Well, you are vying to be our opponents. If you can't take our good-natured shit talk before the competition, you have no right to be in the motherfucker.
Indeed. So, open your ears because you're going to need it. Because here comes a Chaidez chowdown right for you.
Axe Bomber dropping bombs.
Let me throw a little bing bing for a couple of fellows I know of. Munchbox Dave.
Is he saying lunchbox or is he saying munchbox?
He said munchbox, and the first time I didn't catch, and it turned on the auto captions, and I was like, what? And there's a reason why he said munchbox this time. It kind of reveals itself later, and it kind of made me chuckle because it's one of those, all right, bro, you tried to play chess and you should have been playing checkers, but go ahead.
You call me Hispanic Spandex. I'm not really
The Hispanic spandex? All right, anyways.
It's the term I used lovingly is Hispandex.
Okay, moving on.
Hispanic, I'm Chicano, Mexican American, just so you know what it means. I'm going to make you into a munchbox. By that, I want to lay you out real well.
That's why he said munchbox the first time. He was trying to say lunchbox, I'm going to make you a munchbox. And instead, he tripped over his own 2 fucking feet and said munchbox.
Well, that's what happens when you have 2 left feet, and diabetes. Here we go.
And put you in an actual box and let the crazy stray dogs in my neighborhood eating you up while you try to beg for mercy. As for Cluck Boss Brandon, or the boss as he claims to be, He's gonna be watching.
What
you.
is a cluck box?
I don't know. I think it's something from like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I don't know.
Okay.
And try to find a way to save you. But you know what? He's gonna be laid out as well with you. Then he's gonna be eaten by the dogs in my neighborhood, and I'll be laughing.
Wait, so we're gonna be I'm gonna be eaten by the box in his neighborhood.
No, by the dogs. Also, it just like I was.
I understand what he meant, but that's not what he said. He said box in his neighborhood.
Okay, I heard dogs, but okay, go ahead.
Oh man, Francisco, I'm disappointed. You call yourself a wrestling fan? You're over here tripping over your left feet with diabetes and fat fucking face. Here we go.
Laughing at you guys.
You act like your promos are just...
For Costa, I have no problem with you, dude. No problem. You're an excellent, talented, gifted musician I ever saw. Even I see your performance.
You stroke strings, motherfucker.
I admire you. You can shred real fucking well on that guitar. But with me, face to face, my man, I want to make an example off of you. Hell, I'll make you into a human gyro and eat you up. And even feed it to dogs in the neighborhood like I did to monkeys.
It's funny because Costa is Greek.
Well, yeah, but it's not a gyro, it's a gyro. Gyro. If you take note of my promo last night, I said it correctly.
I'll give him points for being creative on that one. All right.
Box and collect boss Brandon. You ain't trying to run up to me like that, dog, with that words of yours. Better say something about it. But in fact, you probably wouldn't, because you'll be eating alive, like Brandon and Dave. And how about Nick?
Before he goes on, I gotta say, Nicholas Souza was supposed to join this, but for some reason doesn't check his messages and he was opted out. So I don't know.
Well, you know what? I have a feeling he's going to appear because Costa did warn us. Him and Nick are a faction.
I know you're a big Oakland A's fan, and I know you love Oakland. But you're to the point that you claim to be from Oakland. My guy, I'm born and raised in Oakland.
Dude, he got mad. He stood up.
Chaos. I seen the horrors. I seen the craziness, the hypiness, the most maniacal, crazy ass shit that you never seen in your goddamn life. I lived a life.
The word he was looking for was
Oakland.
maniacal.
I seen it all, man. I seen it fucking all. And for you,
if this is him getting up and getting mad, I'm perfectly happy just sitting in the library with him.
I wonder why he was being so quiet. Like, I think because his mom just got out of surgery and she lives with him. So I think he was trying to be nice about it.
You trying to fucking claim to be Oakland? It ain't about that life. But you know what I could do? I could show you that life. I'm going to show you that life. To the point, it's going to bring some fabulous disaster into your life. Hell, it'll be a pleasure of the flesh while there's blood in, blood out happening. But that's okay, because I show you the way of the Oakland way. Now,
Show you the way of the Oakland way.
I love his accent, dude. I really do. Like, his accent gave me more hope for his promo skills. Because, dude, Ricky Ricardo promoing at you is badass.
Lucy, we have a problem.
But, Ricky, I want to be in the show.
No, Lucy, you can't do this. You Ricky. Anyway.
in fact, since I'm from the hoods of Oakland, I'll put a little bit of roughness into it. Because this will be a temple of a damn for you. And for sure, it's going to be a toxic Watts within me and you.
How did he pull up so many Exodus references?
You know what, dude? I'm actually really proud You know, it sucks because his trash talk was not all that incredible, but his digging deep for references and like actually utilizing things against us for a first round when we kind of were like, yo, you got 4 days, hustle the fuck up. Like, because I know you, me, and Mike last year, we sat around and this is what we thought about when we weren't doing it. Like, our lives started becoming based around these stupid promos. So, I mean, for him to dig so deep, like, I appreciate the fuck out of it.
Yeah, I agree. He's almost done.
Face to face. As for Shady Bone, I don't know. I don't even know you, dude. It's just kind of a distraction. No problems, no nothing. But you're just because I don't even know you. But for sure, if you think you're this or that, shady this or shady that, I know shadiness, my friend. Trust me. And I do shady shit as well. And you ain't trying to go there with me, homie. You ain't trying to go the shadiness of Francisco Chairez. All of the guys
He went Diaz brothers there, and I loved it.
You watch and see how the Doom Slayer Chairez will bring it to y'all. And I'm not talking about this, now, whatnot. This is what I'm going to actually do to y'all. Maybe this, maybe that. Who knows? As long as you put it up,
that was
shut up.
the clip
Because
there.
Doom Slayer's Chairez will fucking slay you all.
Like I said, he fell off the cliff with maybe a bit of this, maybe a bit of that. But in the end, dude, like, it was better than 13 minutes of Mike Vanek talking about Dusty Rhodes. By the way, Ellie Von Grimm asked, what do you think he'd do for a Klondike bar? How shady is he willing to get?
You know, for someone who is from the Oakland, is, I think he'll get pretty shady. I think he'll be about as shady as a boobs and vagine, Indian dude in your DMs.
In your DMs, you think he'd be that shady? Now, here's the thing, though. Those Indian dudes are all talk. They really are. So, do you think he'd get that shady, or do you think he could talk that shady?
I think he could talk that shady.
By the way, Ellie, you know what? Name your price on a Klondike bar, because I'm fat and I like Klondike bars. So, you know what? You can slide in my DMs with an offer. I'll counter. We'll negotiate. We'll see how it goes.
Whatever.
Like,
I got you a Klondike bar. Don't worry about it.
Hey, fuck you. I'm talking to Ellie Von Grimm here.
So am I.
Like, whatever you need, you name your price and we'll work it out. But
Jordan thinks he needs a Snickers.
She thinks he's angry? She thinks he's not himself?
I don't know. All I got to say is, not bad. Not bad. You know, he got the silent approach, a little Jake the Snake Roberts kind of feel to it a little bit. You know, he did stumble. Stumbling happens, especially when you're new to the game. But I will say, mad points for the references.
Mad points for the references, and the fact that he included everybody is something that I got to give him style points on. We told them they only had to reference each other, but they would get style points if they came hunting for the big dogs. And he made it a point to not only include you and I, but he started with us. You know what I mean? So you got to give him a little bit of point there. So, digest all of that. I mean, it is about entertainment first and foremost, but first round, and we all definitely, except even Mike Vanek, we crescendoed last year. The first one, we were throwing feelers and jabs. The second one, we were standing there trading blows in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And then by finals night, we all just got drunk and, man, our finals were all so bad.
That wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad, but it certainly, our second rounds were better than our finals were.
Yeah, I agree. We got real creative with it.
Yeah, because you and me both sat down and realized we were bringing heat, so we decided to dig.
All right, hey, Speaking of bringing heat, though, let's check out our next video. This is
Oh, which one are you going with?
This next video is brought to you by the guitarist of a little-known band out here in the Bay Area called Hatriot. His name...
Excuse me, sir, that's Hat Riot?
Hat Riot.
Hat Riot. There's a riot about hats.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. If you know his last name, please do it. But his name is Costa.
It is Costa Varvatakis, but for purposes of this, he would prefer that you refer to him as Fucks McBuff. Pause, right there. No, back it up. Pause, right there. Right there. Okay. Now, because this is very short, sweet, and to the point, we're not going to be able to rip this apart like we did Francisco. We can try. But if you know Costa Varvatakis, then you know that this is the pose he walks into every fucking bar with, or house party function, or anywhere he goes. As soon as that door opens and you see that 6 foot plus tall mound of Greek, this is how he appears everywhere he goes.
I like it.
I'm trying to compose myself because he sent this to the chat while I was driving, and I was so glad that for once I had the good common sense to park my car before I watched this.
Well, let's see what we got, shall we? So he is raising his hand in a predetermined victory, apparently. So let's see what he's got.
Cut my music. Looks like I do got 5 minutes to cut a promo on you losers. And what the hell did I tell all of you? I'm not going to play by your stupid rules. I do what I want when I want. God.
You know what? Go ahead and pause it.
Francisco, you're up first.
When he says that he was not going to play by our rules, he does whatever the fuck he wants when he wants. What he really means is he's too stupid to figure out how to upload a video to Facebook. That's what he means.
That's exactly what he means.
Like, because he tried for like 3 hours and was like, dude, it won't let me upload. I'll just send it here.
On the chop block. I'm really glad you murdered that lasagna. I'm pretty sure that's the only thing you've ever murdered in your life. Maybe try murdering some pussy before you even step in the ring with me or figure out what murdering is. Tomorrow, you're going to find out what Psycho Massacre is, too, and then you can rewrite your shitty song. Yeah.
Damn, bringing barbs, man.
Bringing heat, dude. He gives no fucks.
You know, I mean, anybody who could write a song, you know, all power and respect to them. But, you know, some songs are better than others. I'll give you that.
Dude, and you know what? Costa's not only a great shredder, motherfucker can write a song.
Yeah.
Dude, Organic Remains has a perfect riff in it. A perfect riff.
You're gonna have to show me what time frame on that riff.
Done.
So, anyways, so let's back it up a little bit. Let's hear that barb again.
Life. Maybe try murdering some pussy before you even step in the ring with me or figure out what murdering is. Tomorrow, you're going to find out what Psycho Massacre is, too, and then you can rewrite your shitty song. Yeah. As for the other guy, I don't even know who the hell you are. You probably suck, too. You're probably a virgin just like the rest of the dudes in the group. One by one, I'm whipping all your asses. Just know that.
All right, here's the only thing I want to say. He's saying we're all virgins. To the best of my knowledge, he is the only combatant in this promo competition that does not have a kid. And you and me would both get laughed the fuck off of Maury if we tried to say those weren't our kids. So
I don't know. I don't think Francisco's even ever had sex. So
I thought he had a kid.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Either way, I'm very aware that Shady Bone does have a kid. You and I both have children. We've met them. And like I said, we would both be laughed off of Maury. So my only point is, I think he's projecting because he's the virgin.
Oh my God, it makes sense.
I'm just saying, just a theory I have, and you know I do my research.
Group. One by one, I'm whipping all your asses. Just know that there's going to be nothing left of this chair when I'm done. You can see it has some damage to it already. There's a thing you guys need to know. I'm up here. You guys are all down here, way below me in the slow bus lane. Learn what your lane is and learn who you're dealing with. You may think you're tough. You may think you know your stuff. There's one thing you don't know. You don't fucks with buff. And fuck you, Randy Orton, for stealing my title at Money in the Bank.
I could watch that over and fucking over. Like, my goodness. Like, we asked Costa if he wanted to step up into the plate, and he starts cutting promos in the group chat.
Yeah, so Ellie says he banged my ex-roommate once, so I can vouch for my boy.
Okay, if you didn't, like, visually see it, then I don't give a shit. Like, motherfuckers can lie, motherfuckers can act, motherfuckers can fake things. People, you know what? Like I said, unless you visually saw it, I'm not buying
Hey,
it.
man, I've made macaroni in a pot, and I've made all sorts of noises.
You can do that. You can knock the headboard into the wall. You can moan, scream, carry on. And in all reality, he was just sitting on the bed showing her this new riff.
Can you imagine the situation? Girls all up on him like, oh my God. He's like, oh, wait a minute. I can play. And she's just like.
I don't know. She might be super impressed. You never know. Because he is a charming, handsome sumbitch. Like, don't get me wrong. We all know.
But he is a charming
We all know
person.
Costa Barber. Well, he does look like Horseshack from Welcome Back Kotter. Like, had sex with Lemmy and they cloned a baby off it. But my point is, Homeboy is, you know what? That's the best challenge I've seen come down the pipe in a long time, man. You didn't scare me. Mike Vanek doesn't scare me. I'm certainly not scared of Francisco Chaidez.
Chowdown.
And I'm not scared of Costa Barbatakis. But I am intrigued to get in the ring with him because I'm about the competition. So you know what? My man, as the great one once done said to the toughest SOB in the business, just bring it.
And speaking of bring it, we have our final video for the preliminary rounds, and then we'll do some voting. We'll do some thinking. We'll do some voting. But ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Tim Shadybone Shaddix. Or Maddox, I'm sorry. Maddox.
It's me. It's me. TTB.
Well, apparently it's you because you're in the dark and, well, too ugly to show your face in the light. So here we go.
Hey, Mick Foley's best promos were in the dark.
Now it's funny that both of you guys started your videos looking at the light. See, I'm going to make that very easy for you guys from now on. Always looking up at the lights. Because TTB is king and will always win. 1, 2, 3. Now, cost.
TTB, is that like a ice cream shop or something?
That might be his middle name. You're thinking TCBY, or maybe it's Flicks and Licks. Maybe we'll just start calling this guy Flicks and Licks.
I'm just gonna call him Soft Serve because he's being a little soft right now.
Butt McStuffins. You say you don't know me? You must be living under fragile rock. You Muppet.
All right, you got to give him points on that.
Muppet-looking motherfucker. Ask about.
Very good, very good. Now, can you imagine a Costa with like no shoulders and just his head? He would kind of look like a Muppet.
Costa is a Muppet. Like, Costa's a total Muppet, dude. Like, straight up. And I mean that with all due respect.
Matthias says there isn't enough pleasant imagery on Pornhub to erase that thought from my short-term memory. Jim Henson Company.
About me. I am the realness. I am the one. And Francisco, you live in Oakland. You're not Adam Cole. You don't live in the Bay.
That was slick.
So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep it short and sweet for this time only. Because I really don't have time to deal with peasants that I don't even know. There's more than one loser. You're all nothing but losers. Pun intended. Lunchbox, the boss. I do have respect for y'all. I really do. But at the end of the day, I am shady to the bone. I am shady to the core. And really, you don't want it with me. See you soon. I'm out.
Now, let me just say, he could say he's shady to the bone, but even Stone Cold Steve Austin is a brisk 98.5 degree temperature, so you're not that shady, man.
Well, he didn't say he was cold. He said he was shady.
I don't know. I'm getting pretty cold. It's cold outside.
It is. Are you in the garage tonight?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it's cold.
Oh, it's cold. It's beautifully rainy out here tonight. I am absolutely adoring today's weather, but we'll get to that. Dude. After the way the show went with Shady Bone, where when our video went sideways and everything fucked up on him that could fuck up on him, he clammed up a bit. And we did not expect him to put so much thought into his entire promo, be it verbally and visually. Like, visually, he knocked that out of the park. It looked dark, kind of, I like the green lighting because, you know, it represents that smoking culture. And he basically made it, and he played the underdog well, being as everybody treated him as the underdog. They're like, I don't know you. And he's like, you better get to know me because I'm coming for you. And that was why he won my vote. Because he did play the lay back and wait. That silent assassin in the movies, you know, like Homer Simpson said, the little guy hasn't done nothing yet, and when he does, you know it's going to be good.
Yeah, excuse me.
And so that was why he garnered my vote. You know, all three of these guys had a lot of positive points. But go ahead and give your analysis on Shady Bone, then we'll break it down. We'll take it to the group. We'll see who everybody votes for, and we'll announce who gets to move on.
All right, so Shady Bone, I thought he was fine. His pacing was good. I didn't like the dark element personally because I thought it was too dark. Would have liked to.
I'll give you that.
Would have liked to see a little bit of the body language a little bit more.
Okay.
But, yeah, not bad. Short and sweet. No real complaints on it.
No, he could have been more, like you said, a little bit more excitement. But he, just like Francisco, kind of played the Jake the Snake. He didn't want to yell. He didn't want to scream. He just wanted to get his point across. And I thought he did a great job of getting his point across. I get where you're saying it's too dark, but as I am wearing a Three Faces of Foley shirt, when Mankind was sitting in the boiler room and all you could literally see was the fact he had a mask on and his hair and rocking back and forth in the dark, that was really my shit. Now, that also being said, verbally, he was a lot more all over the place. And that's where you got to balance it when you do a promo like this. If you're gonna go with the dark, you've got to bring your audio up. If you're gonna lighten up on the visual, you got to make the audio kind of scream out. And that's where he dropped the ball, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I see what you mean when Jordan says he needs more uplifting, and you said you don't know about that. We're talking shit. She just means she just like you. She wanted more energy out of him. Same thing I was saying too. She wanted more oomph out of him, more excitement.
Okay.
I don't think she means he needed to be nicer to us, because he was nice to you and me.
So with that being said, I mean, I think we have our opinions on who won. In the online polls, Costa clearly won.
Right. What was it? 5-1? 5-1, Costa for Shady Bone. And Francisco, sadly, you didn't get a single vote, my brother. Like, where you dropped the ball, I think, was you didn't take any element to the extreme. You did a great job in covering everybody. You did a great job in, bringing, dropping Exodus references and making it a little personal. But you just didn't throw any real barbs. You didn't really... You just said what you were going to do. You didn't play on anybody's personality.
Yeah, you had about as much appeal as a shit talker on Omegle.com. Basically you came across, you're like, I'm from Oakland. Yeah, who gives a shit?
I think you're being a little harsh there.
Nope.
But But okay, like same thing I'm saying, just with a meaner twist. He didn't bring heat.
Nope. No heat.
And so that brings us to who we all pretty much agree was probably the show stealer tonight.
Correct.
And that was Costa Varvatakis. I'm sorry. Fucks McBuff.
I gotta give him credit. He came out with the presentation. He came out. He spoke clearly. He also was rather to the point, and I'll give him that. He did it very well.
See, visually is my only complaint. Because he was waving his phone around. The shots weren't overly good. He basically came in and was like, you know what? I do got 5 minutes. I'm going to run my mouth. And he did a beautiful job running his mouth. But then it's basically, all right, I got a boombox and I got a chair. But that being said, he went on the attack. And he left you and me out of it. And he went straight after his two opponents. So his focus is there.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have any harsh feedback per se. Like I said, I liked the presentation. He spoke clearly. I will say that the hell is that? Anyways, I just got something on my phone. I was like, what the fuck? Anyways, so yeah, Costa earns my vote.
Okay. Well, we already have the poll 5-1. Now, just in the interest of fairness, in the chat right now, go ahead and drop who you think was the winner. By the way, Ellie Von Grimm, your vote tonight is disqualified because you did already vote. Oh, you know what? No, it isn't, because it wasn't counted on the poll. So go ahead and drop your vote. That's right, because you didn't actually do the poll. You just mentioned who you wanted to win on the post. And I know where your heart lies, but please say it for those in the back.
What the hell?
Jordan did vote in the poll. I vote with whoever Lunchbox votes for. Well, that gives another one to Shady Bone because I voted in the poll. By the way, Ellie, it's fucks with it's FUX. Because we are a family show, kind of.
We are not a family show.
Shut up! My family's usually here for the show, and occasionally yours is too.
Yeah, occasionally. Okay. All right. So
far, we got one more for both Shady Bone, just because technically I voted for him in the poll, And one more for Fucks McBuff. No, not really, Ellie. Come on, you act like anything I ever say is fucking serious. I only take my heartfelt comments seriously. Everything else is bullshit.
Bullshit indeed.
Indeed.
All right, so I think it's time to call it a winner and alert our person that he is going to be taking on you and I in some brutal verbal battles.
Actually, give me a second. I might be able to make this double interesting.
Oh, man. So, sounds like he's going to try to call this guy. You know, wake him up because I guess all he does is work and play guitar.
Shit, I think he plays guitar at work. He's over there working on cars playing guitar.
Dude's a mechanic? I didn't know that.
Yep.
Hey.
Trying to see if I can't raise him. But you know what? If he hits back, he can hit back and we can fucking drag him on. Otherwise, shit happens. We don't have to. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, your clear-cut winner. Moving on to the semifinal round, and will be joining us live on finals night. Date to be released soon.
Yes.
The one and only Fucks McBuff.
Yes. So that being said, that means because we have our third finalist in this, that means myself and Box need to drop our promo videos.
My first one went out last night.
That was a promo?
Somewhat.
No, that wasn't a promo. You could do better than that. Basically, you stood in front of a tree that looks like it's been... By the way, you need to water your tree, man. Your tree looks like you picked it up out of a tumbleweed.
Well, I actually go and cut my trees. Unlike you little fucking city folk, I go and cut them. You just go down to fucking Save Mart and pick one up. Or you use a fake. Either way, point is, you're a little bitch. You got stomped last year like a little bitch. And you know what? Being as he bowed out, the new term is, you're a little Mike Vanek.
I'm a little Vanny.
You're a little Vanek. So either way, son, when you actually compete, you can talk trash on my promos, but you have yet to drop a promo, and I'm going to be dropping carpet bombs all these next 2 weeks because I have too many stupid ideas that cannot fall the wayside.
Well, you want to talk about carpet bombs, man. When I'm done with you, you'll be dragging your ass all over that carpet.
That'll be because my ass is irritated from you bothering me. You, sir, are like a giant hemorrhoid on the ass of life, and you will be exterminated once and for all. Because like I said last night, Brandon, 2020 wasn't your year, and 2021 ain't looking good for you neither.
Well, I'll tell you what's not looking good for you is the fact that even though you have lost weight, I'm sorry, but I've seen the way a candle melts, and you're not looking any better.
Yes, Brandon, but the thing is I do not look like I am pregnant with a set of twins and have a cue ball for a fucking head. And just like last year, my little elf, Santa is going to put you on the naughty list and bury you in the North Pole.
I may have a cue ball as a head, man, but at least my head doesn't look like a softball thrown by lesbians.
What the fuck does that even mean? Brandon, just like everything else you say, that makes no sense and is not pertinent to our conversations. And this is why I am the star of this show.
You may be the star of the show, but thankfully the show only shows to about 5 people. So you're about the star of... You remember those carpet bombs you were talking about? You're about that.
Either way, 5 people, that's 5 more people that think of me as a star and 5 people that think of you as my sidekick. So listen here, Robin. When you're done playing with your Dick Grayson, you can come on up and I'll show you how to throw a batarang properly. And maybe one day, son, I'll let you borrow the keys to the Batmobile. But as of now, go ahead and get on your little bicycle and go on out and beep the horn. Because you ain't never going to be a man like me, sir. And as you all know, me and Brandon really get deep into this year. So just remember, Me and Brandon are best friends. Me and Brandon love each other unconditionally. And if you get out of line and say something wrong, we will both rain fucking thunder on you. But for the next 3 weeks, anything and everything we say horrible about each other, it's only semi-personal.
Only semi.
Only semi. We do bring realism into it, but just remember in the end, if any of you DMs being like, dude, did that hurt your feelings? No. Not in the slightest.
I remember last year we had to wrangle in Vanek a little bit. Like, hey man, this is bro talk. It's okay.
Right, it's cool. Like the point is to diss on each other. Like, but that was when I knew I had the upper hand, was when he'd call me and be like, your promo really pissed me off. And in the same breath, he'd be like, so I guess it was good.
So I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to being creative. I'm looking forward to finally putting some words to paper or not, and just having fun with it.
Yep, we're going to have a good time with this. We hope you all follow along. When you see those promos, please, if you're a fan of this show, mash that share button. Let's get people interested, because when finals night comes, all hell breaks loose, and you will get to see every stupid thing we have said for the last 3 weeks, and then we are going to do it all over again one more time to see who walks away the reigning, defending, undisputed promo champion of the Great Holiday Promo Battle at 2021. And man, we're going to have a fucking great time with this. So please sit back, relax, and fasten your seatbelts, because the ride is getting bumpy.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we've been on here for 2 hours. We've been talking shit for 2 hours. So, we're going to let you go. Enjoy the rest of your night. But I will say this. There's going to be no show on Monday.
Oh, are we skipping a week?
Skip a week. But
okay.
What we're going to do in that week that we're skipping is we're going to learn to be creative and put out some funky, fresh promos against each other. So, look out for those. Stay on the page. If you haven't followed the page, which I'm sure all of you have since you're here right now, and keep a lookout for our promos. So with that being said, no show on Monday. Enjoy your holiday, ladies and gentlemen. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and all that other jazz. Mr. Lunchbox. Wait. No, it's my turn. Anyways, so my name's the boss, Brandon Blacker. You can find me on Instagram at The Real Brandon Blacker. Find my band Suburban Paranoia on all social media platforms. You can also find me on TikTok, actually. Brandon, BRANDEN SP.
DEN. Roger. I'm sorry, Trip.
Yeah, some friend you are. BLE.
Well, I just didn't know which one I wanted to call him right now.
So, yeah, go find me on TikTok. I post some pretty funny stuff every once in a while. Yeah, all that other good stuff. Lunchbox, where can they find you?
You can find my band, Nothing But Losers, on Facebook, Nothing But Losers on Instagram, and Nothing But Loser, that is no S, on Twitter. You can find us Friday night at the Cozy Corner in Livingston alongside our boys, Stig Murder, the original 5 members of Stig Murder. Donnie is flying all the way in from Oklahoma, and who knows, your boy might be playing 1 or possibly 2 songs. Wait a minute. Hang on.
Yes.
We might have to drag this out a minute. Oh, never mind. No, we won't.
Oh. Go on.
Fucks McBuff is in my DMs.
So what is he saying to you, sir?
He was just asking if we're still available.
Available?
Well, I was going to let him come on in and explain to everybody why he's going to fuck our lives up.
So you trying to tell him, to get on here live and tell us some good?
I was going to give him a second. You know what? Hang on a second.
All right.
We can do this guerrilla style.
Are you going to call him?
I'm going to straight up messenger call him.
All right.
Let's just see if he picks up.
What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, brother man? Hey, check it out. So you are live with Talking Shop with the Boss in the Box, and you, sir, have just won the preliminary round of the holiday promo battle. So please explain to the good public what they can expect from you in the next 3 weeks.
They don't need to worry about what to expect. They don't need to worry about anything. All they need to do is know that I'm the best, and know I'm whipping your ass, and know I'm getting the belt, and that's all there is to it. Because you just don't call fucks McBuff when he's trying to get his protein in to get ready for the match, you see. So, everybody out there, you don't eat your meat, you don't eat your beans, you're a bunch of losers, and that's all there is to it. You don't fucks with Buff, and you don't call him when he's cooking dinner.
All right, folks, McBuff, I'm going to let you go ahead and get back to cooking dinner. You're going to need that protein, and you better fucking eat your Wheaties because shit's about to get real. I'm going to call you back in like 20 minutes. You go ahead and get your grub on, and we're going to go ahead and sign off here. But, hey, thanks for participating, and get ready to take home your participation trophy.
We'll see about that.
All right, I'll call you back, fucks.
Later.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the challenger first. You don't call while you're eating your protein, and he definitely is going to eat his meat, so he'll get some pudding. So, once again, you can find my band at the Cozy Corner on Friday night. That is Nothing But Losers, alongside Stig Murder and our boys in Glitch Kill. And Santa's going to come sit on your lap. So, come see me and see how this goes. You can also, most importantly, find this show live every Monday night except next one at 8 p.m. at Talking Shop with the Boss in the Box on Facebook, Talking Shop with the Boss in the Box on YouTube, and Devastated Media on Twitch. You can find our channel on YouTube. Once again, that's Talking Shop with the Boss in the Box. All episodes live forever on Spotify, Buzzsprout, Stitcher, and all your podcast streaming platforms. We will be coming to you forever for the foreseeable future because Brandon and I have nothing better else to do but to hang out with you five fucking people and hopefully more for the finals of the great holiday promo battle 2021.
All right. Good night, everybody. See you in 2 weeks for episode 139 of Talking Shop with the Boss and the Box. Happy holidays.